one thing that Dave said that stood out to me was around aspects of failure and perception of failure. OG told me, he was like, I'm not worried about perception. Perception is a tool for those who are watching. I'm the one living.
Ooh.
So if you live in it, you ain't got to worry about perception. Perception is for those who are watching. I'm the one living. So that's what it is.
Welcome back, Lace.
That's what I was about to say.
Welcome back, Lace.
Lace just hit the Cam Newton at the camera. I'm back.
Yo, welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lace. The podcast with men that have a safe space. We on all platforms. You need to tune in, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Welcome to Melody, the podcast with men that have a safe space. Welcome to Melody. Welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lace.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Melly Mel. Welcome to another edition of the Melly D's podcast, where we have honest conversations that every man needs, but rarely gets to have. I'm going to say it one more time. It's your boy, Melly Mel, a.k.a. Meek Mel, a.k.a. Favorite Truth Teller, a.k.a. if you don't want to know, don't ask me.
It's your boy, T-Dive Roy, your neighborhood hope dealer. If you need some hope, I got something you can borrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow.
What it do though? It's your boy, Dr. Life Coach Lace, a.k.a. NBA Old Boy, a.k.a. I'm him, a.k.a. Mr. Big Shot, a.k.a. The Menace, no relation to Dennis. Let's get it.
What up, world? It's Dave. Dave has wing. I'm back in here and I'm doing my thing. Keep your mind out of bed. Keep your feet on the ground. Subscribe to the pod. We're going to keep polishing that crown.
Hey,
Let's go.
We back in the building. We back in the building. What's going on? Good to see Lace. What up, Lace?
What up, though?
Welcome
We back,
back.
man. Yeah, good to see y'all boys, man.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I'm glad I ain't get canceled in 25. I'm back.
what you mean? You thankful you didn't get canceled?
I'm back. I was getting a bunch of text messages like, yo, what's good? You ain't on the pod no more? They kicked you off? I'm like, nah, man. It's life. What's going on? But we back, man. We back in full effect for 26.
Yeah, man, let's get it. As y'all can see, we virtual. We wanted to kick off the year. We didn't want to wait a week. We wanted to get right to it, and we definitely wanted to give Lace opportunity to be present. So we giving y'all a virtual, but it's still the same. We're gonna kick it like always. So real quick before we get started, just to kick off the year, plug some things real quick as we've been doing. Give y'all a heads up. Patreon, we live. Go to it, subscribe to it. As I've always said or recently said in the past, it's free. Don't even think about it. Obviously we want you to do the $5 at least, bless us, pour into what we got going on, check out the products, check out the content, all that type of stuff. But for those who hesitant, you want to check it out, you want to see what's going on, you can subscribe for free. As promised, the digital products will be dropping this month as well. The 10-day journal is live. I have a new ebook that we talked about for y'all, The 7 Pillars of Manhood, that is also live. Now that is available in the $20 version of our Cave Gang Patreon. If you want to buy that solo, that will be available as well. If you're not necessarily ready to subscribe to the $20 version, but all that will be available on Patreon. Take advantage of that. And the group chat is officially open. So that will be for our paid subscribers. So if you are a paid subscriber, $5 or more, you will be welcome to the group chat. Where we'll be just trying to create more opportunities to have conversations. So tap in, man. It's here. We're doing it. It's 2026. We're getting the year started off right. What's good?
Yes, sir.
I like that, man. I like what we got going here. I like that.
Life been life, man. We had to keep it moving for you, bro. We had to let you come back.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Love offering time. I like that. Blessings.
Hey, let's get to it. Hey, so we set the tone, man. We setting the tone. You know what it is, 2026. Beginning of the year, it's that time of year, where everybody starts making their resolutions, making their goals for the year, telling everybody what they're going to do. So we want to focus this episode today, kind of just talking about 2026, man. What does that look like? We're going to do a little bit, talk about habits, how to keep those habits, how to get back on track when you fall off, and kind of just have some, open conversation just from our general experience today. So that's how we're going to keep it. So I'm going to start off, unpopular opinion. I'm going to keep the year off right. New Year's resolutions aren't real. And people who wait for January 1st to change are very unserious and they wasting everybody's time. That's my unpopular opinion. I think New Year's resolutions aren't real. People who wait for January 1st to change are very unserious people and they wasting everybody's time. That's just my unpopular opinion.
They wasting everybody's time except for the people who own fitness facilities. If you own
That's
a fitness
right.
facility, you up right now.
Yeah, that's
you
very
definitely
true.
doing your thing right now. Yeah, that's real. That's real spill, man.
I have no understanding of why people make New Year resolutions when they know they're gonna quit before MLK Day. I don't know why you making a resolution. You ain't gonna make it to the 15th. Anytime someone says I'm making a resolution for the year, I've never once seen someone live past the 15th on that resolution.
So you've never made a resolution like ever, and you didn't stick with it, or are you saying it's from experience, or are you saying just from what
I'm
you've
saying in
experienced?
general, I usually don't do like resolutions. I'm more of like a goal type of person. Like I'll go into the end of the year focus
Yeah, I
on
like
what
that.
goals do I have for next year,
Mhm.
but I don't necessarily be like, as a New Year resolution starting January 1st. This what I'm doing, or something like that. I just, because I guess I kind of always felt like if you wait for January 1st to change, you're not serious about change. Like if it's something that you knew that you needed to do or that you
Yeah.
wanted to do, if you just say it just December 15th and you like, well, January 1st, I'm gonna start,
Well, you
whatever.
gotta
It's like,
you gotta build your
like,
capacity up for it. You gotta get your mind wrapped around.
I know that's what people say, but when that's all you already start off on the wrong foot because you procrastinating it.
That's
You
true.
already
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to get to it. If you know you need to change, or if you know you got something you want to change, saying
Just
I'm gonna
do
wait
it.
till January 1st to change is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Nah,
I saw
feel you.
I saw a video the other day, and I think I sent it to Mel. It was talking about how like, most people, they don't be serious about stuff, and then they get around somebody who really serious about something, and they start to see the intensity and the intention that people be moving with, and they like, whoa. It's like, yeah, but why you gonna wait 2 weeks when you could just, even if it's something small? Like I made a video about that on my TikTok a couple weeks ago. It was like, yo, build some momentum going into the new year. Go ahead and start to do the small things now. So it's like, don't be like, I'm gonna start my diet at the top of the year because it's the holidays. It's like, if you were serious about it, trim your diet, like relax on what you're gonna eat for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Like just a
Can't
little
do
bit.
that.
You don't gotta
I'm
be
sorry,
everything.
Dave. You can't do that, baby.
One
You
slice
can't
of
do that.
one less slice of cake. That's all
Right.
I'm saying. One less plate. If
That's
it's for
it.
real. And then
Because
when
the calendar
January
don't change
hit,
nothing.
exactly.
The calendar don't change nothing. If you want healthy on December 31st, you ain't gonna wake up on January 1st and be like, hey, that diet kicking in today.
Yeah.
That diet kicking in today. You ain't had no practice.
Exactly. No practice. That's a great way
No
to put
practice.
it.
I don't
You
know
ain't built no
nobody that
momentum.
I don't know nobody that was like, my New Year's resolution is this, and they stuck it out for the whole year. I don't know a single person. But the people who have goals, all my goal-oriented people are the only people I know that actually see something through for the whole year because they already have a plan for it and they got some type of system or structure in place to hold themselves accountable. The resolution people, they're just talking out loud. Ain't got no system, ain't got no structure, ain't got no plan. You just saying what you hope you want to do. That's how I feel about resolutions. Resolutions to me are more like hope than a commitment.
Right.
When people say a resolution, I feel like I'm hoping to be on a diet come January.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping. That's what I feel
And
like resolutions are.
a lot of that is because you create it inside your own mind. You might even write it down on your own piece of paper, but you don't have any accountability around even fulfilling those things. Like if I said I was going to lose weight and I was like, Lace, I'm losing weight. We meeting in the gym. We getting together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a part of accountability. Because that way Lace knows, hey, we doing this together and working together, all this type of stuff. A lot of the resolutions end up being just personal things that people do, but they don't incorporate other people in helping them in it. And the part that actually makes me mad about the resolution people is that they may have said that resolution out loud, and then you hold them, then you say something about it, and they be like, "Hey, no, we're not doing that today." Well, hold on now. You done made it publicly known.
Right.
You made it publicly known. You were supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z, and that's the reason why I'm saying this out loud. And now I'm the bad guy because I'm holding you accountable for what you just said.
They wish list, man. They making wish lists. They ain't actually setting no goals. It's a wish list. That's what it is.
No, it's definitely. I agree with you all. It's definitely a wish list, and per definition, as we know, a resolution is a firm decision not to do something. That's really not a goal. A firm decision. I'm just not going to do it. That has nothing. You're not building any capacity around. This is how I'm not going to, or the things that contribute to you doing something. So setting the goal would be seemingly a lot easier than saying I'm just going to be resolute and not do this thing. Don't make sense. If you've been eating 5 plates, as Dave mentioned, at Thanksgiving every year, what makes you stop January 1? It don't make sense. Like it just don't make sense. So I feel you. Resolution versus a goal.
That's funny. It's funny you mention that because at Thanksgiving and at Christmas, well, granted, I was down for Christmas, but at Thanksgiving specifically, I was like, I'm not eating everything that's out there right now. I'm getting 1 plate right now. Like my resolution started for me back in when the holidays start ramping up, because this whole year has been a health kick, has been a workout kick for me. And so when it came into the holidays, I said, all right, I need to get prepared for these holidays. So I need to change my mentality. All right, for Thanksgiving, instead of getting 2 Cornish hens, okay, I'm only gonna get 1 Cornish hen.
Y'all still on the hens though?
Hey, bro, I'm telling you right now, bro, the Cornish hen is the way to go. I know we way past Thanksgiving. But when you think about the turkey it depends on who makes it. It can be really, really dry. But the Cornish game hen, though, keeps the moisture. You feel me? It keeps the moisture. It keeps the flavor because it's basking in the juices. You know what I'm saying? If you get that pot that come up at the same height as the Cornish game hen, it's just basking in the juices. And you just pull the bone, tenderism.
Tenderism. But then you gonna get the end there, tenderism.
I feel you.
Hey man, so real talk though, like I think it was like 2024 or something like that. I gotta go back and look at it to be for sure. But it was like 2 years ago. I saw an article in Forbes because people was talking about all this resolution joint, and Forbes did a study where they said like 80% of people who make resolutions don't make it to February. It was like legit a thing where like people who make a resolution, 80% of us are not gonna finish until January. So it's like we quit. So like part of that I feel like is figuring out what actual change like looks like when you're going into the new year, like what you actually plan to do. I don't think a lot of people actually have that in mind. They just say, this is my resolution or this is my wish list, but they don't really have a plan on what does that actually look like, for me. So saying like you were talking about, Troy, like the health kick. And for you, that's like certain things that you're choosing not to eat. I'm cutting back my portions, or I'm going to the gym. I'm doing something like you already had an image of what that looked like for you. And I think a lot of people come into the year like, new year, new me, or I'm just going to put that down. I'm not going to do that no more. But they haven't really thought through like, what does that actually look like in practice for me for the year? And I think because we don't, or because they don't do that, it's so much easier to quit because you have no gauge on how well am I doing based on this resolution, because I didn't even think through what the hell that was actually going to look like for me. Like, what does health look like for me? Because that could be different for everybody else. Like health to me could be like, I might not change my diet right now, but I'm going to try to go to the gym a little bit more and then slowly work in my diet or something like that. Or some people just be like, I ain't going to go to the gym. I'm going to just change my eating, or something like that. But when you ain't thought through, it's easier to quit on it because you don't even know what you're looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's and it goes back to we aren't strategists in our own lives in a lot of ways. How do we bring this to scale? How do we put it in within scope? We just say I'm not gonna do something, and it never works out because you have no plan in place to actually take the proper steps to get there. So
I'm not laughing because what Lace is saying is bad. I'm laughing because it's been like 8 episodes since we've heard scope and visibility.
Hey, it's all about scalability, bro.
And range and journey and practice and all those professional words that y'all have gotten used to hearing. We just haven't had those. And to hear Lace be back talking about scope and journey and practice, I'm like, hey man, we back for real, bro.
I feel like there might have been a couple lexicons thrown in there over the last couple weeks. I have to go back and look. It's a couple lacisms. He was around real. Even when he wasn't here, man. He definitely back now. To your point, man. He definitely back now.
So I'm one of those people, like I said, I don't necessarily do resolutions just because I said, like, I feel like they wish list. I'm more of a goal type of person. I started that like a few years ago. I think I've always been good about goals, but not necessarily like writing them down on paper. It wasn't until like a few years ago that I actually started like writing down the goals for the year. I used to kind of just keep everything in my head because that's kind of, I'm just goal oriented in general, just a goal oriented person. So like just having a lot of times I feel like if I don't have no goals or nothing, I don't even know how to govern myself. Like it feels like my day is too ambiguous. I start to lose sight of stuff. So I always have like some type of goal, in mind that I'm pushing towards. And it was like a few years ago where I actually started literally like sitting there and writing down on paper, like, all right, these are the 5 areas of my life that I want to focus on for next year. And I just started writing goals in each space to figure out like where I wanted to focus. And then that helped me actually like structure out the year. Like, cause then I could look quarterly and be like, did I do what I said I was going to do last quarter? Did I do in the last 3 months what I set out to do? So I feel like building even a simple system like that for people who not necessarily extremely goal oriented, but maybe you're more of a checklist person. If it's a checklist, make a checklist, you know what I'm saying, for the year, like write and practice, like this is what I want to do, put it on paper. And then at least you got something to look back at. And then month over month, you kind of figure out, all right, how am I tracking towards that? What am I doing in this space? And at least it sets the year off right. Me and Sharita did that like the beginning of December. We was pretty busy. I tried to do a little bit earlier, but beginning of December, I actually rented out a room at the local library. And we went over there for like 2 hours and just sat down together.
Let me
And
find
talked
out.
about, you know what I'm saying, what we wanted to do for the year. We picked 5 areas of our lives, spiritual, financial, family, freedom, and friendship, and picked goals for each of those things that we wanted to do for this year, and kind of wrote it out, talked about it. She shared some of the things that she wanted to do. I shared some of the things that I wanted to do. And we kind of met in the middle and agreed on what those are to kind of just set the stage for the year. And that was the first time that we've actually done it together, because usually I'm the one off by myself. Not to say that Sharita's not goal oriented. She's more systems, checklist, process type of thing. And I'm more like vision and goal, you know, setting. So in past, I'd be the only one doing it. Like I sit there, do the whole thing, and then I come back and be like, hey, this the vision for next year. And then depending on how she responded to it.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but like it's like you said the way that you're explaining it, it sounds like you can vision cast and then she can like accessorize everything that you are doing with your vision. And that's one thing that I'm learning with us too, is that if my wife, as soon as I give her something to do, she's going to find 12 different things to do for that one thing. And if I can just give her the vision to do that. So I'm sorry, go ahead, continue.
No, you good. I would just say like this year was the first time that we actually done it together, because usually I would be the only one doing it in that space. And Sharita's more like I need to see something to get started type of thing. Like if you give me a framework, then I can kind of jump in. But in past, I think that was even kind of on me, because I'm more visionary. Like I could see things quickly in my head, like how it should look, how it should go. So it's nothing for me to see it and then try to put it in practice, where some other people are like, they don't really have the vision, but if you give them a starting point, you know, they can kind of jump in that way. So I used to be sitting there like, when you gonna come with some vision, with some thoughts, like when you going, and then I realized, like, oh, you like systems. So all right, let me do it, you know what I'm saying, this way. So it was out of the box, you know, for us to go to another place and just get out of the house and do it. Definitely allowed us to focus. But even just that, you know, simple stuff. It's not too late. I know in January, some people probably feel like you needed to start this before the year, but even if it
right.
Now, start thinking about the year, even if it's small stuff, you know. And that's why I'm learning too from y'all, especially from like Troy and Dave. I haven't really talked to Lace about it much, so I'm not shutting you out or nothing, but more so just focusing on small wins. You know what I'm saying? Not just the larger picture.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I fall into the habit of quantifying success based on the big thing that I wanted to accomplish, and I don't really take inventory of the first downs. I'm like, I didn't get the touchdowns. I'm mad about not getting the touchdowns, but I ain't look at the third down conversions that I had. I ain't look at the first downs that I got. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning how to, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to look at the first downs. Learn how to look at the, you know, third down conversions and stuff like that as wins as well. So I'm learning how to reframe for this year too.
Man.
That's good.
I would say that a lot of the reason why some people may have that issue, let me go back to the very beginning, the first thing that you said, as far as like, you know, people setting the goals and stuff like that. I think the reason why some people I think people are actually intimidated to actually set up goals and plans for the upcoming year, because they may have like an ambitious type of friend who does their thing, and you're like, dang, I don't have vision or planning like that. And it's intimidating because they've never actually had to sit down and think about, okay, what are the things I'm actually trying to do this upcoming year? And I think also sometimes people are afraid to set plans because they're afraid of failure.
Sure.
Like they're truly afraid that if I set this goal and I don't meet it, I failed, and then what's going to happen from there. And I honestly believe that, you know, if you don't have any type of vision, then you won't make it anywhere. So definitely kudos on that. And I definitely want to touch on to that before I pass it on to Dave. The part where you said about little wins, like, bruh, that has got to be that has been, I learned that when I was doing middle school ministry, because the kids used to come in there wild, crazy, dumb. I'm talking about wild, crazy, dumb.
Oh, I'm catching on to you now. When you said middle school ministry, I thought you was just a middle schooler doing ministry. You're
no. When I was doing middle school ministry. Oh, you're right. When
you said middle school ministry, I was like, dang, Troy been
preaching about that life, yo. He earned that collar a while ago.
Yeah, I was like, God, dog, I didn't know they was ordained in that young.
And you know what? You're right. You're right. And that's on me because in black culture, it's just youth, right?
Yeah.
But when you in multicultural churches, they break it down elementary school, middle school, high school. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I said middle school. So when I was doing ministry with middle school kids,
when you was youth
pastoring, when those kids used to come in like straight heathens, and they changed our perspective to say, all right, are they coming? They're coming. All right, they're coming for, and that's a win right there. Okay, that's the first win. Now, you're not going to be able to change little Jimmy's issues because, one, they probably need some medicine also on top of that. But
some adults do too. Some adults do too.
That is clinical.
But like, has Jimmy made any slight changes? And if you can see those little wins along the way, then that means you're going in the right direction. And so, like, setting yourself up for little wins this upcoming year, even if you're structuring this year, you don't necessarily have. I want to let people know you don't have to start a business. You don't have to. Create an LLC. Like all these huge things. Like some things you just need to set up like little wins for yourself. Like you need to shower every day. Like that's a little win. You know what I'm saying?
God, no.
No.
It's a big win for others, but a little win for you.
It's a big win. It's a big win. You need no, seriously. Like you need to get a haircut every week. You know what I'm saying? Like little wins. Like you need to make a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Like little wins. And if you can start seeing yourself being successful in the little wins, then you can be successful in bigger wins. So yeah, go ahead, Dave, man.
Nah, for sure. I think when you just talked about a couple of things that both of y'all talked on some things that I want to touch on, but I think ideally it's like, how do you start to tweak your system? And how do you start to change the lifestyle? Like I think a lot of people are just doing things, but they're not thinking about like, why do I have these habits? Like I think reflection is a big part too. Like I think for when you talk about trying to set goals or trying to get your life going in the direction you want it to go in or whatever it is, it's like not too many people are taking the time to reflect to then be able to interact those things. A lot of times people are just running from that alone time and that reflection that it takes to actually make the adjustments. So it feels good to write it down on paper and make the wish list, but so you kind of know but you haven't reflected on like, well, why didn't I do this year? What held me from doing this year? What relationships did I not have? What information did I not have? What resources did I not have? You just kind of floating with your wish list, trying to, bumping into it, hopefully that you bump into success, and it just doesn't work like that. And I think once you start to develop the self-awareness, you can then start to tweak and develop the system, like your interpersonal system. And that's when you start to get to the small things, like you talking about, Joy, in terms of like snowballing, like life stuff. Like, let me make my bed every morning.
Yeah.
Let me not pick up my phone for the first 5 minutes and just thank the Lord for having breath in my body and let me look at the ceiling and just be grateful to be alive for 5 minutes before I start to interact or interface with the world. Right? Those little small things start to build up that momentum that then allows for you to kind of start to make some of those bigger changes. So to your point, you ain't necessarily got to start a business or cure cancer or nothing like that. But like, waking up every morning and making your bed and getting out the house on time, or going to walk for 10 minutes, or making sure that you eat breakfast, the right type of breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like meal prepping, like whatever the little things are. Like I think part of it is too, like while I was talking about the end of the year and leading into like building that momentum from the end of this year to going into the next year. Cause I've always never really looked at, I think I said this on the New Year's episode, I've never really I look at the years as just like catalog markers. It's not like a start, stop, dot. Like I don't use them as hard because we playing the long game in this thing called life. So I'm always thinking about, if you have a system in place, you can kind of make those adjustments throughout the year when you feel like you're off the marker, when things aren't going in the direction you want. The other thing, or the last thing I'll talk about too, before kicking it to laces, Troy, you talked about failure, and that is a huge one, like reframing failure. And like a lot of it too, there's a lot of like startup language that has like embedded in the culture where people are like, you need to fail fast. You need to, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I get the sentiment behind it, but that's like very much like a startup culture, entrepreneurial, raising capital type of approach. When really it's like, I've reframed failure as like feedback. Like I did something, I now have information, and now I can move forward with that new information. Whether I got the outcome that I was looking for or not, that's another conversation. But it's not necessarily about it's more about feedback loops and paying attention to those feedback loops, as opposed to being like, I don't want to have no, like, failure to me has been completely reframed as like me stopping. The only time I'm a failure is if I quit on doing the things that I chose or that I feel like I'm called to do with my life. That's when I will become a failure. Because I'm never going to do that, I'll never be a failure. But I will receive a lot of feedback over time because I'm going to do as much as I can, as quickly as I can, so that I can continue to move things forward. And that's where some of that intensity comes from. Like I was talking about in that video that I saw, I was just like, yeah, like when people are moving, when you get around other people that are moving, the reason that people are moving so quickly is because they're getting feedback so that they can continue to make moves and sharpen the direction that they're going in. They're not sitting back, contemplating, doing the plan 8, 9 cents. It's like, I need to be comfortable moving at about like 70, 80%. If I'm about 70, 80% sure, like go ahead and get the feedback, because then you better off than even if you felt like you was at 100%, because you still could not get the result that you're looking for. So the quicker you can get to action and make something shake, the quicker you'll get feedback, and then you can continue to make adjustments. But that's just kind of how I think about systems and life improvement type stuff.
Word.
Yeah, man, y'all all hit the nail on the head in multiple capacities, but I'll speak on the whole, reference to Melvin talking about goals and the manifestation, writing those things down, but also being willing to
pivot. The manifestation.
Hey, you better know it. You better know it. But being able to pivot, right? Because even in goal setting, say for instance, you have a goal, I want to do this by quarter 1, quarter 2. You may not achieve that, but how can you pivot along the way to make sure that is a long-term goal? So I'm big on, outside of goal setting, having an action plan and the proper steps that it takes to achieve said goal. And that's where we often go left, because we don't set steps in place to achieve said goal. We just throw out this, I want to do this by this time. Well, how you go do that? What kind of action plan or actions are you putting behind that? And one thing that Dave said that stood out to me was around aspects of failure and perception of failure. OG told me, he was like, I'm not worried about perception. Perception is a tool for those who are watching. I'm the one living.
Ooh.
So if you live in it, you ain't got to worry about perception. Perception is for those who are watching. I'm the one living. So that's
Welcome
what it
back,
is.
Lace. Welcome back, Lace.
Lace just hit the Cam Newton at the camera. I'm back. I'm back.
Come on, Lace.
We need to create a segment called Old Head Sayings by Lace.
Hey, yo, they be dropping jewels, brother.
Old Head Sayings by Lace.
You just gotta sit back and listen. You just gotta sit back and listen. But OG said that, I was like, that's it right there. That's for who watching. I'm living it, so it don't really matter. Do what you gotta do for you.
Yeah.
Hey, so Dave started the ripple effect, because I was basically gonna go into the next like layer, which was talking about actually, building habits that stick, like how to go about that. But you kind of already outlined it. You and Lace kind of just did that with the systems, the measurements, the metrics, all those things that you can use to kind of keep yourself on track, to kind of create that accountability loop. One of the discussion points that I wanted to have is that the difference between discipline and motivation, and which one is more important in terms of like making this happen, because a lot of people feel like they need to be motivated in order to, achieve. So they waiting for this feeling of motivation. I need to feel motivated to, go do X, Y, Z. Like I'll become disciplined once I get motivated, where other people are like, I am motivated because I am disciplined. So it's like figuring out which, I'm saying, what's the difference between discipline and motivation from the standpoint of like inspiration versus transformation? Because I feel like motivation is more of like inspiration, and whereas discipline is more transformative, where I'm actually like taking steps toward whatever it is that I'm trying to change. So I feel like a lot of people are in that in-between space of motivation and discipline, where like, for example, the whole gym situation, where it's like, if I don't feel motivated to go today, I'm just not gonna go. I'm gonna try it again tomorrow. Whereas like some other people who got that shape that you want, got the muscles that you want, whether they feel like it or not, they like, I'm going to be disciplined in my workout and go to the gym. And then usually you'll hear them say like, after I left, I felt good about going. Like I was motivated once I showed up, type of thing. So I just wanted to have that, if y'all have ever experienced that, or what's y'all viewpoint or vantage point on, motivation versus discipline.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, results are motivating, right? It's like kind of to that point of that feedback loop. And there are kind of like two things specifically, like I feel like motivation is like emotional, You know what I'm saying? Like people you get caught up in the emotion of you go hear a motivational speaker, you think about it, or you watching E.T. on or David Goggins on YouTube, and it's like the inspiration music and the lights and the sounds and the track in the background and blah 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 and all that kind of. It's like you getting caught up in that motivation is just you getting caught up in the emotion, and that eventually that's gonna fade because emotions change, right? And I think to the point about discipline, like I was probably watching Diary CEO, I think, and I feel like there was a guy up there, and I love the way that he framed this because he said, I'm allowed to, and it was either Diary CEO or another podcast, but he said, I'm allowed to suck, but I'm not allowed to not show up. So if I'm like for the gym, for example, it's like even if I go to the gym and I don't feel like going and I go for 5 minutes and get on the treadmill and get off, I showed up. I sucked, but I showed up. So I'm not allowed to not show up because he was just talking about how like falling off. That's how you start to get in the rhythm. You fall out of your rhythm just by not showing up, not being a part of not sticking to the routine. So one day, it's easier for one day to turn into 2 days. But if you don't allow for that one day to happen, even if it's trash, even if it's like I was on the treadmill for 5 minutes, I jump rope for 2 minutes, I did 10 push-ups, it's like I still did something and I didn't miss. So the goal is just to not miss. And then also too, just the other part of it is just grace on that side. It's like, cool, yeah, you fell off, but all you gotta do is start back. Like it's not like this whole thing. Oh, I did my streak and I was 10 days in and then I missed it and like, as you beating yourself up, it's like, bruh, cool, just start tomorrow. Just do it tonight. Do it right now.
One of the worst streaks that will just blow your whole high is your Bible streak.
I knew you was going to say that, bro. I felt that with my soul, bro. I knew you was about to say that before you said it. I knew you was about to say that.
I remember I was on like a 50-day streak one time. I'm talking about I'm getting it in. You know what I'm saying? And then one day I woke up. I said, why does that say 1? I went 24 hours.
Not you was
that
mad.
That make you feel bad. I ain't gonna hold you.
I was mad, bro.
That Jay make you feel bad.
So pissed. That's the reason why I'm on day 330 right now of my Bible plan from last year.
Okay.
Because I didn't finish. I missed a bunch of days, I'm sporadically throughout the year. And Dave, to go to your point, yes, I fell off the horse a couple times, but I'm still on that. I'm still on my plan and I'm still going to fulfill it. Now, I may not have hit it within the time frame in which I wanted to do. Yes, I was 30 days behind, but I still hit it nonetheless. You know what I'm saying?
330 days out of 365 is good to me.
Right,
bro.
Hey, Troy, because I tell you right now, every week I went to do my Bible lab streak. I started at 1.
Right. Hey,
every Monday I was at 1 because I missed the.
But guess what? And you gave a perfect layup, man. Who keeping score at the end of the day?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really
exactly because you're the only one.
Who keeping score?
That'd be the other problem. That'd be the other problem too with keeping them though, because you don't have no real accountability. Like certain stuff about how do I stay on track with this? You don't have nobody to push you to stay on track with it because it's just you. Like it's you keeping the score. So that was the other part too, where I was like, so should we tell people about our resolutions out loud or should we keep them to ourselves? It's like, should I come and be like, hey, these are my goals for the year so that I do got some additional layer of like accountability, something to help me with it, or should I keep it to myself? Because I feel like if don't nobody know and I'm just doing it to myself, I can slack off those days. I can miss 30 days, whatever.
And that's where you can lose the discipline when you can slack off. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think it should be known. Like, yes, to your point, Lace, who cares?
No. I'm not saying who cares. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I just want to chime in. I'm not saying who cares.
Like to your point, like who cares? But at the same time, it's like I was working at something. I didn't necessarily get there. All right, cool. Let me at least continue to move forward. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about the fear of failure, because it's like I feel as though, like, I'll speak from my perspective. If I don't do this perfectly, then it's not worth doing. And that is not the right mentality to have.
Right. Yeah.
The mentality to have is I am doing it and I am working in a process to get it completed within a time frame. Now, if I don't hit that time frame, that's fine, but I'm still working towards getting it done.
Yeah. And for me, the way that I view it, because I agree with what Dave stated as far as motivation versus discipline. I firmly believe discipline enhances an aspect of motivation. Discipline is showing up when you don't want to do it, right? All of those things. But at the end of the day, the core of it is how am I building this capacity or this muscle around the thing? Is the goal just to complete it? Because you doing the 365 days in the Bible, great. Well, what is the goal along the way, right? Like, what am I building capacity around? How am I enhancing my inner man so I can show it outwardly, et cetera? So that's more so how I view it. I know a lot of times, in the workspace, relationships, whatever, we just doing it to get to the goal. But are we really doing it to build capacity around what we're trying to enhance and improve? And that goes back to little wins. I didn't cuss you out this week. That's a win.
That's a win. That's a win. That's a win.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't view that in the grand scheme of things, rather than the journey along the way. So that's how I view it.
I love that relation. I think part of it too is like to your point, the reward is in that journey. Like it's not sure, you're gonna get to the overall goal, but then it's like once you achieve the goal, really when you reflect on it, when you look back on it, the goal was in the relationships that you built along the way, the having the story to tell of falling off and coming back. Because I mean, to be fair, we ain't never seen a movie or everybody get tired of like, it's funny because Mel will call Lace out for this every once in a while, where like we'll be saying something, everybody talk about getting pinged on a specific subject, and then Lace will be like, yeah, I never dealt with that. Or Lace will be like, yeah,
Lace ain't never been through nothing.
I'm him. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. You'd be like, bruh, like nobody wants, if we saw a movie, right? Just put in the context, if we saw a movie and nothing but good stuff happened to the person the whole movie, we'd be mad. We'd be like, why am I watching this? Why am I watching that?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what people are really turned, social media and all the things into. It's like it's highlight reels. And people start to compare themselves to that. But it's like, bro, the value is in, the community that's built, the camaraderie that's built, the ups and downs of it all, picking people up, getting picked up, you know what I mean? And really leaning into that, just kind of the journey of all of it, of like, that's where the real reward is. Like, to your point about the Bible app, it's like, you can read the Bible once a week, and probably, there are some people who could probably read the Bible once a week, and because they're looking to implement what they learned throughout that week, right? Versus the person who woke up and opened their phone every day and read the scripture of the day for 365 days with no context and no application to their life. So yeah, you read more of the Bible than me technically, but did the growth actually occur? To your point, Lace, like, did you actually apply it? So I think when we think about how we're just going back to the goal setting things, when you think about the metrics that you're using to measure, you know what I'm saying? like, people, I always say men lie, women lie, and some people say numbers don't. I say men lie, women lie, and numbers need context.
Correct.
Because you can make the numbers look like whatever.
Numbers do whatever you want.
And I'm a data guy. I'm a data guy. I tell all kinds of stories with the numbers.
You can make numbers. Hey, I know that's true, Lace, because I be doing the same thing. People make a living telling stories about numbers, man.
Numbers gonna say what
you
they
can make
say.
Numbers do whatever you want to make numbers do. Whatever you want numbers to do. Yeah, and that's real, Dave, because that was me not looking at the goal. And that's why I was saying about the Bible app, because I got to the point where I wasn't even opening the Bible app to read it. I was just opening it to keep my streak.
The streak going.
Because I didn't want my streak to die. I was just opening the app just to keep my streak alive. I won't even like in the word or any like, I won't even in the word every day.
Scripture. He can't quote a single scripture.
I'm sitting there like, I just got to keep this Bible app streak alive so that I felt like I did something by opening the app, and it was fruitless. So then that's why I just
that's
gave up.
That's a great way to describe it.
I'm saying? Like,
is a great way to describe it. That's a great.
But Mel, that was discipline still. Even though you may not have went there to get anything, you opened up the app, and that was part of the discipline process. And so you are creating a discipline in yourself. Like, I need to get into this, regardless if I show up. Going back to the gym analogy. Whether if I show up for 5 minutes and get on the treadmill or I do a whole hour-long workout, you still opened it up and you still got in there.
See, and that's where I was going to disagree. I was going to push back on that. I was going to push back on that earlier.
The thing is, Troy would be a great motivation speaker. He would be a terrible discipline speaker. Because what you just said.
So hold on. Wait. So the analogy works for the gym, but it don't work for the Bible, though.
No, because I was gonna push back on. I was gonna push back on the gym. I was gonna push back on the gym too, and because the reason why I was gonna say I was gonna push back on it is because yes, I get the concept of never stop showing up, create the discipline to be there when you need to be there. But I think there's two layers to it. That there are two perspectives or vantage point that I would say that I want to push back on and agree with. There's at one point you have to be honest about what you're being disciplined to. I was being improperly disciplined. Like I was not being disciplined in a way that was providing results or what it actually should have been. I should have been disciplined and saying, I'm going to open this Bible and read no matter how I feel so that I can do what I need to do to get closer to God, improve my relationship and stuff like that. I wasn't doing that. I was just opening the Bible for the sake of being able to get the star to say that I opened it for the day.
Yes,
and so you have to know when you're being fruitless in your discipline or whatever it is that you're focusing on. And that's where I say, like, at some point, yes, you're being disciplined to something, but what is it that you're being disciplined to? What is the actual motivation and desire behind what you're being disciplined to do? So that's why I say on that one, I would push back on it. If you just opening the Bible app just to open it so that you can keep the streak alive, but you're not reading the verse of the day, you're not choosing a Bible plan, you're not picking the scripture to go through, that's when I say, like, all right, it's a fruitless discipline that I have. So it would be better for me to not even be trying to do a daily opening of it. And I just say, hey, on Tuesday or Thursday, whatever it is, I'm going to sit here for 45 minutes and I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to do, whatever. So then I have a focused intention. The other part where I was saying about pushing back on the gym and I struggle with the concept of grace because I feel like it's a catch-all for thing that people use to underachieve. It's an unpopular opinion. I know.
Thankful to have Lace back.
Look, bro, I'm telling you. So this is what I feel like. I feel like grace. I feel like the usage of grace and how we use it, not heavenly grace. Now, before Troy started giving me a sermon, that not heavenly grace and stuff like that. I'm talking about the type of natural grace that we be saying that we need to give each other, which basically to me is synonymous for allowance. Give yourself allowance to, be okay with the fact that you didn't show up the way that you should have and this and that, because I have the not same problem as you have, but the same mind frame around, if I'm not going to do this 100%, I'm not going to do it at all, because I have an internal belief that I should be able to do something at 100% or don't do it, so that I'm not wasting my time, so that I'm not wasting someone else's time, so that I'm not halfway showing up. And I think a lot of people are comfortable with halfway showing up and the bar just being, hey, I made it. I showed up. I did whatever. So when I say grace in that instance, if you just going to come to the gym and do that 5 minutes on the treadmill and just to say that you came, just go walk outside. Don't bother. I feel like we put too much on grace to where people just snatch grace and they like, oh, I'm gonna give myself grace. Because at some point, when do we have a standard for how we show up?
Sure.
When do we challenge people for how they show up in spaces instead of the goal just being I made it? Why can't you make it and show up? Why can't you make it and be 100%? Why do we have to just lower the bar all the time to say, well, I made it, or I showed up, or I think the concept of never stop showing up is not to say, and I'll use a biblical phrase because all y'all understand it, come as you are. Well, people just say come as you are, and people feel like come as you are just mean I can come any kind of hell the way I want to come. When I show up, I ain't got to have no decorum, no structure, no standard. I just get to come as I am. Which come as I am, that's not what that means. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like that's not what that means. And so it's just we say stuff like that. So it's just like, oh, I get to suck, but I showed up. No, you don't get to suck. Show up, stay disciplined, and do the stuff. You're trying to make a grace for yourself by saying, oh, well, I made it. I showed up. I get to suck today. Instead of just saying, I have a standard about how I'm gonna show up. Never stop showing up means whether I feel like it or not, I'm committing myself to doing it. And it's not committing myself at a lower grade than I would have if I was motivated. It's saying that despite how I feel, I'm still gonna do it anyway. That's what it means. That's what they mean by never stop showing up. But people use grace as like their way out of doing what they know they need to do.
My only pushback to that is because in that mentality, for the person who has the perfection type of mentality, then they'll just never do anything.
Yeah.
They'll never show up. They won't even get out of the bed. They won't even move. That's my only pushback to that. And because in every day we can't, I'm not gonna say every day we can't, but and everything that we do, we're going there. Life happens, and we're not going to be able to be 100%. You know what I mean? Like even showing up to work. I had a bad night with the wife last night. I had a bad night of sleep. I might not be able to be 100% today, but I showed up. I'm here. I'm doing what I need to do. I may not be able to go give you 100%, but today I gave you 70, and 70 worked. You know what I mean? So that's my only pushback. I rock with you. I see where you're going with that, Mel. But my only pushback to that is that if that's the case, then some people will never even show up.
Why not? It's not even from a mindset of perfectionism. I think it's from just the level of commitment and standard. Like it's not about being perfect in what you're doing, because you could commit yourself 100% to something and fail. I do it all the time. You can commit yourself 100% to something and come up short. It's not about perfection. It's not about perfection. It's the mind frame and how which we approach something.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's more about more so about the level and mindset, not necessarily that it has to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? In order for me to do it. So, you know, that's what I mean about the whole gym, the 5 minutes. Yes, you showed up to the gym, you did the 5 minutes, but 5 minutes on the treadmill, how much did that really do for you other than for you to just be able to say, I came? It's the equivalent of me just opening the Bible app to open it.
Well, part of it, I think I would tweak that analogy just a touch, because I think, again, the intention of it behind it matters, right? Like, and the chances are for a lot of people too, very few people are actually going to go to the gym and spend 5 minutes on the treadmill and that be it, right? Like they may not do their full strength workout, but they may actually run for 30 minutes, or like they might not, work out to the full intensity. But I showed up, I put my shoes on, I came to the gym. That's what part of just like staying in the routine of going. I think if I was to tweak that analogy, Mel, to what you were talking about in terms of opening the Bible app, I wouldn't make it the 5 minutes on the treadmill. I would make it like opening the door, walking in, scanning your key card, and walking out. Like that's the fruitless portion of it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like 5 minutes, because it's all subjective, right? 5 minutes on a treadmill for somebody who's on my 600-pound life is the equivalent of doing something insane. I think to me, I think we want to keep those things in the proper context, because again, I'm thinking about if you're talking about fruitless being at the gym, fruitless is again walking in. You drove over there, you walked in, you scanned your key card, and you walked out. You didn't even do nothing to actually interact with the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I think part of the that's just me trying to get back to that portion of it. The whole grace piece of it, I'm still kind of processing through. You know what I'm saying? Your perspective on that, because I'm leaning more towards what Troy is talking about in terms of like people. It's the grace thing is more so about people having space to understand that you're not going to be perfect, because it is what it is. We're just human in that way. And I think that's why the intention of it matters in terms of you going, in terms of it being fruitless or being fruitful. Like, are you going to actually interact with the intention of engaging and actually doing your thing against the goal that you set? Or are you going just to say that you did it so that you can say, I did this thing for 365 days, whether I actually grew from it or not, whether I actually interacted with anybody or not, whether I actually moved towards my goal or not. Like, I really love the way that you frame that as like fruitless interaction, because that intention of why you're doing the thing and why you show up makes all the difference between where and how grace is applied. Because you don't get no grace for not doing it with the right intention. But if you're doing it with the right intention, I think there's grace to be applied there. So I think that's
what I mean. Yeah. It's the fact that people are not doing it with intention and then snatching grace. That's my issue. That's what I mean. We've lowered the bar for grace so much that people just use grace for everything. I'm not talking about the person, like I said, who's imperfect. You doing your intention, you coming up short, grace for that. It's like the same thing I used to tell the kids when we was coaching. They'd give 100% and come up short, but they beating themselves up. They worried about getting corrected and all that. I'm like, if you gave 100%, if you did the best that you could do and you came up short, you played your best defense and he scored anyway, I ain't got nothing to say. But if you not, you know what I'm saying? If you out of position, if you not closing out and he hit the three, if you not where you're supposed to be in the part of the zone and they score basket, there's no grace for that. You're not even doing what you're supposed to do. But it's in those situations where someone didn't do what they were supposed to do and they snatching grace.
Asking for grace.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I mean. And we just applying grace, you know what I'm saying, to everything. So I want to be clear about that, because I do agree about if you're actually taking the steps and being committed, definitely all the grace in the world for those type of people, because you're actually taking action and you're doing something. So yeah, if I didn't represent that well, let me fix that.
Yeah, no, you good. The common misstep though is the expectation of grace. And that's where the common misstep comes into play, because the barometer remains the same, right? So we know that you want to show up, you want to have intentionality, you want to have fruitful interactions, etc. But if I know that I am not exhibiting or doing what I'm supposed to do, some individuals have the expectation that grace will be given, and grace is also an accountability measure. I can give you grace, but I'm also going to hold you accountable in this thing, because that's what we agreed upon. So grace does look like accountability as well. So I see pieces of what everybody has stated around grace, what it looks like, but the erroneous expectation that grace will automatically be given is where many folks find a sense of struggle and disconnect.
And so what I would say is, for you, Mel, and I think we all can agree about this, I think it's what you're saying. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You're against the grace abusers.
Yes.
And I am also against the grace abusers. I will give you that. And correct me if I'm wrong, because you are against the grace abusers, you then also wrestle with the concept of receiving grace for yourself.
Not necessarily for me. It's just
or anybody receiving grace.
I struggle with not applying my level of standard to other people. If that
well, you can't do that, bro.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know that's a me problem. I know that's a me problem, Lace. That's why I'm saying I struggle with it, because that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I have a personal standard that when I show up when I commit myself to say I'm going to do something, I show up and I say that I'm going to. That's why I say no so much. When people like, why are you always so quick to say no? Because I know that if I say yes, the standard and level of which I know my yes brings, I don't want to just put my yes on everything. Where some people are willing to say yes, knowing that they might back out, knowing that they might halfway show up, knowing that they might not want to do it anyway, but they feel like they're comfortable enough to just say yes. Where my level of standard is, if I say yes, I'm going to be where I say I'm going to be. I'm going to show up where I'm supposed to show up, and I'm going to be 100%. And if I feel like I can't be 100%, then I'm not going to commit myself to doing it. And that's why I say I struggle with not applying my level of standard to other people, because for others, the grace is I showed up. And to me, just showing up is not good enough. It's not good enough to just show up.
You know what's incredible though? Like it's amazing how like definitions will help bring clarity to a lot of things, right? Because I think to the point, one word, multiple definitions. So I Googled grace while we were sitting here, and obviously there's what we know and what we think about from a theological perspective, and that is unearned, unmerited favor. That is, I showed up with the wrong intention, whatever I did, I showed up, and you still are providing for me. Like, that's the biblical side of it, right? Like, yeah, get your little shimmy on, Troy. Get your shout on, right? But to Mel's point, I think the other definition that is here is that grace also means to be courteous, polite, considerate, or a pleasant way of behaving. And to Lace's point about expectation, and to what Mel's talking about, they expect to just show up and for you to be courteous with them, and them not doing what they were supposed to do. And that's why it's very important that we start to think about these definitions, because it's like, oh, you want me to treat you the way that the Lord is, and as I should, because I'm striving to be Christ-like. But also, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do and you committed to do this thing, I'm probably not going to be very courteous.
Right. Like, no grace. And to Mel's point, the power in the no, right? You understanding how you approach grace, etc., and saying no to someone, that's offering them grace. So that's why I say, like, it is interchangeable, it's interactive. In those ways, the way that I put it, I say to folks now, what's the two letters after M in the alphabet? That's my no right there. That's my no. I ain't doing it. And that's grace. And that's grace.
Lace is 76 years old with a 40-year-old body, boy.
He is, bro.
I ain't doing
it. We running out of time. We running out of time real quick, but I did want to introduce a new segment today to start having some fun. We're gonna start introducing new segments to just create more engagement, create more laughs and opportunities, so we're not so serious all the time. So I got a new segment today. Y'all haven't seen these before, so it's gonna be real funny to see how y'all respond. So we're gonna kick off our Truth or Cap segment. Basically, what this is just gonna be me asking y'all questions. I got 5 of them today. All you gotta say is truth or cap. If we got enough time, we can expand on it, and I might have another one depending on what we got left. So I'm a hot seat. All you can say is truth or cap. Nothing else. All right.
All right. People make the same 5 resolutions every year.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
Or within the same vicinity or something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you fall off your goals in January, you might as well wait till next year.
Cap.
All right. If your habits aren't working in 2 weeks, they're not for you.
Cap.
What? Oh,
because it takes 21 days to create a habit, or at least that's what they say.
That's what they say.
We ain't talking about the. We not.
I don't know.
We're not talking about it becoming. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it becoming a habit. We talking about it working. We talking about results.
If your habits aren't working after 2 weeks,
I'm gonna go truth.
And that's the thing. But he said when he said habit, I'm just basing it on that. So I would say, wait, what was the question again? To say,
if your habits aren't working for you after 2 weeks, they're not for you.
Oh,
that's cap. Yeah, that's cap.
That's cap. Yeah, you got to give it time. You got to give it time.
It's so new. I might go. You might need to pay some attention to that thing. I'm gonna go truth. You might need to be looking at that.
Look, if we got time,
because it depends on what it is.
Two more.
It depends.
I'm gonna stay right here. I want to talk about this.
No, because
let's get through the list. Yeah, let's get through the list.
Because the last one I got is probably gonna make you want to expound too. The last one I got, discipline. This is the second to last. Discipline matters more than motivation.
True.
Yeah, true.
All right, I'm gonna go truth on that one too. All right, last one. If you really wanted it, you wouldn't need motivation.
Well, that is
true.
The motivation.
I'm gonna go true with that.
I mean, it's true, but also if you want it, that is the motivation. So you don't need any extra motivation. If you want it, you go.
He already explained it. See, when I said we had to expound, all he was supposed to say was truth and cap.
Ain't follow directions.
Look, I know my answer to this one.
That's cap.
Cap. I was gonna say cap too.
I'm going.
Why?
Cap.
Why y'all say
I
cap?
definitely was gonna go cap
because I want $1 billion. Am I going to do everything it needs to take to get $1 billion? Absolutely not.
Oh,
but
I'm thinking too small. I'm thinking too small. You gotta think big. I'm thinking too small.
If you really wanted it, you wouldn't need motivation. I think sometimes there are things that we really want that we do need to have, that we needed to be motivated for. Like we need to have some type of motivation for us to try. You know what I'm saying? Like even I'll use me as a general example. Like consistently talk about wanting to pursue entrepreneurship, like wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to do these things or whatever, but not necessarily being motivated enough to do it because I had the safety net. I had the job. I had a stable check coming in and different things like that. So I wasn't as aggressive or motivated as about doing it. But then when you get laid off and you ain't got no source, no bread coming in, all of a sudden that motivation, you know, all of a sudden, that motivation kicked in and you like, all right, I got to do something now. I got to, you know, it was something that I wanted. It was something that I always talked about, but I didn't necessarily have the motivation. So it's like, sometimes I think you do need motivation, even if it's something that you really want in order to do it.
See, I don't necessarily view it. I don't view it in that way. Way. Granted, you had a layer of motivation, but the safety net was taken. So now you have extreme motivation. So the motivation was there. You just didn't do it. So you had motivation. You just had other things that impeded what could help you get there because you just had your mindset on other things. But now that is gone, now you got to be motivated to a certain extent to make certain things shake if that's what you truly want to do. That's just how I view it.
And I think what Lace is saying is once the distractions were moved, then that's when the motivation came. That's when the direction to go do your thing.
Yeah, pressure. It's a different lens of pressure.
All right.
That pressure. Back to the 21. All right. I just want to give this example.
Go ahead. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I want to give this example and get up out of here.
The habits.
So we talking about habits and stuff like that. Now we have all done some type of fasting and things of that nature for 21 days. Well, some of us in our Christian faith have done some type of fasting. Majority of times when we do a 21-day fast, that's a corporate fast. That first 1 week or two, trash. I'm talking about straight. It feel like you are eating grass off the ground, bro. That's how bad that fast be. But once you get into that third week and you get into them last few days, like the desire that you had to want to like go back to regular eating, it starts to die so much to the point of where the first day that you can go back and eat, yes, you may go back and eat whatever you want to eat, but then your body's so used to the discipline of eating healthy, it's like this foreign thing that you're eating comes back and it's like, what is this? And your body doesn't even know how to respond to it. And so that's the reason why I say it 2 weeks, you got to keep pushing past that.
Again, I think context is always everything, because I'm like, 2 weeks is it really just depends on what it is. And I mean, I know that's the whole point of it, is like to kind of make you force a decision. And I think 2 weeks is enough. And I'm not thinking about it from a building habits perspective. I'm thinking about it from a feedback and systems perspective. And if you've been doing the exact same thing for 2 weeks and you ain't seen an inkling of like, this is giving me some level of progress, like, I'm thinking that you might need to tweak something in your system. Sure. And that's just, again, I'm thinking about it from that perspective, not necessarily like habits. I get that. Like there's a time, and of course everything, not everything is instant gratification and all the things, but like, I'm just thinking about it again. Like if I'm doing work and I'm doing something, I don't get it's not working. Like there's no instance of positive feedback. There's nothing that's giving me an opportunity to say like, I need to keep doing this. Like, there's got to be some indicators for you to be able to keep doing something. And that's why I'm just like, after 2 weeks, you should probably look at tweaking your system, or probably look at tweaking what you're doing. So, I mean, I like this, but I don't like this, Mel. This is exactly what you wanted. This is exactly what you wanted it to be.
Yeah. Hey, no, that's the whole point. Hey, all right, real quick, takeaways. Any takeaways from the episode? I got one. Lace dropped one on me. I'm taking that for the rest of my life. Perception is for those that are watching. It's not for me. It's for those that are watching. I'm taking that. Hey, Lace, I might get that tatted, bro. I'm keeping that for the rest of my life.
That's real,
bro.
Man. That's real.
Hey,
little wins amount to large victories.
Okay, I'll take that.
Hey, learn definitions of words.
Yeah,
context. It's a lot of different types of grace. Context. Yeah. Numbers need context. Grace need context.
Grace need context.
Life is about context.
Hey, man, y'all know what it is. It's the Manly D's podcast. We kicking off 2026 right. Hey, don't forget, we got the merch. Go get the merch. Check out the website. We got black, we got gray, we got hoodies, long sleeve, short sleeve, t-shirt, all the stuff. You know what? All the stuff that y'all is harassing us for.
Harassment.
All the stuff that y'all is messaging us about, sending us DMs about, text messages about, leaving comments under the post. Where can I get a hoodie? Where can I get a hoodie? I went back to all the people that asked where they could get a hoodie. Sent the link to the hoodie. I ain't seen a purchase for a hoodie yet. Go get the stuff that y'all asked us for. We spent a lot of time making it happen. The merch is available. Hey, if you're not on Patreon yet, hop on Patreon. We got a lot of good things going on Patreon. Remember, you can subscribe for free. We would rather you not. Go ahead and drop that bread on us like you do everything else that you care about in your life. We got a lot of new things going on. Check out our new series. We just dropped a new episode yesterday called Inside the Cave, where we're going to be offering y'all some behind-the-scenes stuff that go on with us, some fun, lighthearted things, just another way for us to provide deeper connection for y'all. That will be available too. The first episode is free. Going forward, that'll be only for the paid subscribers. We're trying to give y'all this stuff to create value so that y'all can see it. Eventually, as they say in the streets, the price of the brick is going up. Today's price will not be tomorrow's price. So y'all better get in where y'all fit in, because we will be making changes to these things. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you made it this far, we appreciate you for rocking with us as always. We around. If this meant anything to you, share it with somebody. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, comment, whatever it is. Keep rocking with us. It's Melly Mel, your boy Troy, Dr. Life Coach Lace is back in the building. Dave has wings. Happy New Year, y'all. We out.
Happy New Year.